is there anything I can do to support my knees? There is actually, like every sport, we have our own special footwear. So I thought I'd give you a sneak peek behind the scenes in detail of my footwear. Please excuse the condition of my footwear. You've got to bear in mind I've been dancing for decades, and some of my shoes look like it, even though they are replaced quite regularly. Obviously I dance several hours a week, every week, and I have been doing it for years, and yes, some of these pairs are begging for me to throw them out. So, but you'll get the idea. You'll get the idea. I'm just going to swap around the camera now so I can talk to you about different information on the different shoes. Okay, so here we go. So these are called Block Boost. Now, Block is BLOCH. It's an excellent company for shoes. Block and Capezio are the two that I would highly recommend. Obviously, different dance instructors will recommend different brands, but Block and Capezio are definitely market leaders. They are the only ones I use, and I think they are absolutely fantastic. Here's why. So you've got this area here, which is the breathable area. These are Block Boost this style. This area at the front here, this is called a stopping block. So if I show that up to the camera, you'll see it's actually flat. So that's the stopping block there. Stopping block means you can go up on point. Yeah. But these trainers don't stop there. So these trainers are slightly higher on the side, so there's slightly more support to the ankle. They also have this section in here. Now this is an air cushion in here. This creates bounce so that when you're jumping up and down, you're not damaging your spine, damaging your knees and everything else with reverb. You're actually doing smooth bouncing up and down. Also means you can jump higher as well. It's also got this section. Now this section is called a split sole in here. If you look underneath, you'll see I've got a heel to my shoe. I've got a toe to my shoe, but I don't have anything at all in the middle. So this is a split sole, so it's like ballet shoes. The reason is for that, it literally does this, bump, yeah? So my shoes can literally fold in two. If you can see that on the camera, yeah? Why is that great? It's great for pointing your toes. If you can see that at that angle, or imagine me wearing it right now with my toes pointed, toes out, toes pointed. There you go. Okay, the other thing that this pair has, which is my personal favourite thing about these shoes, is this. This is a 360 spin circle. And this area is the reason I'm talking to you about these shoes. Now, this spin circle here, you can see it's actually ripping on this one. It's in much better condition on this one, but you've got to bear in mind, you know, my shoes are old and they get a lot of wear. So yours, you know, my 1 week could be your half a year of dancing, for example, because of the amount of hours a week I'm dancing. So yours are going to last you longer. But so this 360 spin circle here, what that means is when I spin on my foot, I do a full spin like this. I'm spinning from underneath my foot. So if you can imagine that, if you're standing up and you're spinning, doing a full 360 rotation from underneath your foot. Now, all trainers are, you know, built for certain jobs. They're very good at the jobs they do. If you're coming to a dance class in running shoes, they're obviously just as good at doing their job, and their job is to grip the road. And their job is to be able to bounce off of that. So they don't have a 360 spin, they have a big, large gripping area. They won't have a split sole either, but because they have a large gripping area, what that means is when you go to spin, you cannot spin from under your foot like with a 360 spin circle. So instead you spin from your knee joint. So what you're doing is you're then twisting your knee joint. which isn't necessarily something you could feel, especially if you've got healthy knees. If you've got unhealthy knees, you'll kind of feel it quite quickly. But if you've got healthy knees, you are damaging them. And obviously, it's not the way to go. As soon as you can get away from running trainers and into dance trainers, then that's what you need to do. Especially, exactly the same as running and dance trainers, really. So yes, it's just getting the right footwear for the right job, really. Yes, I do sell these, but that's not why I'm on here talking about them. It's just, answering these ladies' questions. So that answers the questions on dance trainers. Now, dance trainers can be used for most types of dance. Before the tango dancers jump on here and kill me, not every type of dance, but most types of dance, you can get away with these, especially if you're social dancing. Right, over to here. If you're coming to salsa and jive classes, you can wear the block loose trainers that I've just been talking to you about. You can also wear these type of shoes here, which are Latin shoes. Now, Latin shoes tend to have a absolute maximum of a 3.5-inch heel. This is something that my old dance teacher told me years ago because I used to wear 5-inch heels. And he said to me that I would destroy my my joints, and hey-ho, I destroyed my joints. So, yeah, please do listen to us teachers. We do know what we're talking about. So, these ones have, I think this is a 3-inch heel on this one. But more to the point, it has got suede underneath here and apparently some sort of a labelly thing stuck on it. So these, if you look at this section, you can see the suede. This is the colour it comes in underneath. As I said, my shoes are well used, so please don't look at the condition of them. But this suede area under here, and it continues all the way through, that's what you're spinning on. So it's really soft to spin. And it's a really good spin as well. It's very quick. So again, it's not gripping the floor, which means you are spinning from underneath your foot and you're not spinning from your knee joint. So the other great thing about these, and the way I particularly like this style, is because it loops like this. So it's looping around my ankle and it's looping around my upper foot as well. I don't know if you can see that there. That gives me double protection over here, which means my foot stays in place, especially if you're salsa dancing. If you're jive dancing, you can get away with jiving flat or on balls of feet. Doesn't really matter. Depends on the style, depends on whether it's rock and roll or Lindy Hop or what type of jive you're doing. But if you're doing salsa, you're up on your toes. So I always say if you put your heels down, you've got your brakes on. So you are up on your toes constantly. If you're dancing a whole night of salsa, that's the position you're in. So what that means is it can flop off your foot quite easily unless you have the correct straps. So do go for the correct straps. Again, yes, I do sell dance shoes. There you go. They're Rotate UK dance shoes. And again, that's not why I'm on here. So, I mean, if you want to contact me about that, that's great. But so over to this pair. You can also see these are also ancient. But if I can unhook that from under here. Sorry, I'm holding the camera with one hand here. These actually hook in. I'm not sure. Yeah, see? They hook in. So they look like they are buckle shoes, but they're not buckle shoes. All this buckle does is you adjust it to where exactly you want it on here, along here, so that it's for the right width to go across your foot. After that, you never have to touch it again. And you just slot this part in. It would be on the other side if this wasn't all caught up underneath. I could probably show you better on these. So it would be hooked in like this. And then it pulls tight on your foot. And if I give you a side view, it looks like this. Now, nice and simple. Okay. So there's lots and lots of shoe suppliers out there that can do Latin shoes. I like Rotate UK's, but there are lots and lots of suppliers. If you go through a professional dancer, or a lot of the time you can, they get discount because it's an industry secret for you. Professional dancers and professional dance teachers and dance schools can get industry discounts. Now, if they want to, they can pass that discount on to the end user, which is you guys. Obviously, they don't have to, but they can do. So if you go to, for example, a normal shop to buy a pair of Latin shoes or a pair of block boots or whatever. I know a few years ago they were £70 for a pair of block boots in a high street store, because in a high street store they've got rent, they've got lighting, they've got staff, etc. And if you bought the same shoes through me, they were just under half of that price back then. So that'll tell you there is big discounts to be had. But if you think, oh my gosh, £35, that's a lot of money. But I am worried about my knees. I want to start dancing. Is there anything else I can do? If you have got an old pair of running shoes and they are well used and the grip's gone, so they're pretty slidey, you can always start out in them. If you're coming to salsa and you've got a pair of office shoes that are leather soled underneath, not rubber, because they stick, leather soled, with a small heel and something that's going to support it across the top of your foot, you can always start off in them. So yes, there are ways around it, especially just to come along and see if you like it at first. But guys, I hope that really helps. But if you do want more information, ping me in the comments below. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.